more or less we all have in a way some relationships like that when we think we are better than somebody and then we need to teach them or show them something and then we do it without love totally. Welcome everybody. I'm sure that people joined in by now, so chat get live. So we just set a new concept like the third one. We are creating it. It's still a young podcast, so we are looking for the best version of it. So right now, especially Mods and Robbie, who is doing the video editing, listen up. So how we're gonna do it is we start when I say we start, and then it's like we are doing it for, I don't know, 1 hour, something like that, until we are finished, and then say the official stop. So we will take chat in with all the comments and questions you have regarding the topic. If something is off topic of comparison, we will deal with that after the official podcast is ending, so that we have what we are sharing and we have the chat with us in the podcast. We want you guys to have with us, but it has to be regarding the topic. Anything not relating to the topic, it's like gonna be discussed later on. So yeah, that is it. And then when we finish, we will say it's like podcast is now over. Now we go like chitty chatty with everybody all together, have some fun, and then at 11, like usually, we go sleepy. I mean, some people. I still have an hour because I'm not sleepy by midnight. So all right, let's go. Welcome everybody to tonight's podcast. Tonight's topic is comparison, and here we go, right, with the definition what comparison is by the dictionary. So the dictionary says this: a comparison is a consideration or estimate of the similarities or dissimilarities between two things or people. Let me read that again. So comparison is a consideration or estimate of the similarities or dissimilarities between two things or people. So yeah, how we always start is like, Alex, what do you think about what is comparison for you?
Comparison for me is something that all people have on daily basis, even either they are conscious about it or unconscious. I think that's natural human thing, and depends on what meaning you give it to it. It's if it can control you or not. That's how I see from my experience.
All right, cool. Thanks, Alex. Ula?
Well, I would say the same. And for me, comparison is just life. All my thoughts mostly are something about comparing myself to something or to someone. My words, my even the way I'm acting, everything. It's like 99.9% comparison.
All right, cool. So we have a really heavy duty tonight, right? To bring something out of comparison that actually we will get empowered by it. All right, Emma.
Yeah, I have really similar view on it as Alex and Ula, and also I think it's really, so after that it's really something important for people and kind of like the space in which we live, like it's kind of the water we swim in that way. Ula said like it's like pretty much almost anything is comparison, and I think it's something really like a strong thing in our lives, as in it can really guide us if we're not conscious of it, right? So if we don't get it that we're comparing, I don't know, ourselves or whatever, it can really be something that guides us. For also what comes to my mind is how important is even like in primary school, like kids would do a certain subject, I guess like mathematics or something, and they wouldn't be as good as other pupils, and they would say, oh, I don't like maths because because they are not good enough at it. So I think it's really something that can impact our life in future, as in maybe that person will be forever in I don't like math, or maybe even I hate math, and that would last for his whole life. Or maybe some sports, like I am not a fan of group sports because I don't like it because I never thought I was good at it. So, yeah,
right.
I think it really guides us.
Cool, right? So you guys pretty much sums it up with the what the definition says. So it's like, to touch here. So basically, the natural thing of comparison, right? What comparison naturally brings out is always that two things happen if we really looked into it, right? It's like either we go out of it, we are not good enough because there is somebody better than us, or we go out of it ego tripping. Oh, I'm better than them, you know, which in both cases, like we are like, say it how it is, assholes, right? So in one case we're feeling not good enough, so we put on some acts or we say some words so that we will feel good about it, and then in other case where we are ego tripping, we're anyway putting other people down and also again being an asshole by doing that. But yeah, it's like right, it's like a competition all the time. It's like you're in a race, and it's no wonder they say, like, the society today is in a rat race. We are like comparing and competing, and if there is no real competition, we make it up, right? It's like tying shoes in the morning, and you can go like, look at Doncic is tying so much expensive shoes than I do. Man, I'm a loser, right? Or whatever, right? Or my wife is doing that so much fast. Like, my wife reads really fast. So we once put it together, and I want to say, can you read fast? Let me see if it's really on. And then we sit on the sofa and read the same book, one page. And I was like reading it. And then I checked her in between, and she was already like, and I'm like, what the heck is going on, right? She was done with it when I was barely at the half of it, right? So, it's like and then you can always go like, oh man, I will stop reading. Reading is not for me. So yeah, basically anything you want to say, anything else you want to add, guys, based on nature of comparison, like, anything that pops to your mind.
Yeah. So maybe for me, what's also present is that you already talked a little bit about it, but as in, if I'm not fulfilled, that, let me say it like that, so that I see that there are some average results, like kind of the norm that people do, and I'm supposed to fulfill it, otherwise I'm again not good enough. And then there is sometimes that I fulfill on average, and when someone is still better than me, so that we're both I don't know how to say that, but over the average, like better than average, I would again compare to them, and I would again not be good enough. And then when I am like the best of them all, and I'm, like, woo, proud on myself, I'm actually building on ego really, really much and feeding it. But there is again always some kind of tension, to kind of like losing the crown, So it's always this, like you said, like this rat race, always, and it's never peace of mind. So this is also what I see.
Yeah, and it's exactly what also in the chat Mr. JP said. It would be really quiet in our head without all this comparison we do during the day, right? So, and Jake P said, we are born into comparison, which is actually true, right? There is a lot of things of the nature of human beings have that we are actually born into. We didn't invent it like us now. It has been invented in the past, but we didn't invent it. We are just born into, and then like nobody really tells you how to deal with it. They just say don't care, but whatever you say don't care, you actually care about ever. Yeah, that could be also a topic maybe for the future. It's like the words, I don't care, man. Just you saying that, we know you care. So yeah, well, did you want to add something, Alex or Ula?
Yeah, I want to say that what came up just right now for me is that even when I'm like the best, I compare myself to others, like, oh yeah, I'm the best, but they suck. Or know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're the best because they suck, not because you're good, right? Yeah. I got you. So I totally get it. Yeah. So Yeah, it also happens like that. It's like we said before, natural way of comparison, like, right, is to leave you with you're not good enough or ego tripping. Like you think you did achieve something great, and you probably did it, but it's just not authentic when you put others down while you achieved it. It's like one thing to be proud of for your achievement, and the other thing is to put other people down on your achievement. So then it's like, it's not really it. You're not really satisfied and fulfilled by it, even though you want it. But we all want it to be. So Alex, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just got present with some experiences that I had from my comparisons, and I see that I always add some perspective or some kind of meaning to comparison, and sometimes it's drags me down because I'm comparing to someone who is on level 10 and I'm on level 5 at the same stuff. And sometimes it's like inspiring because I'm seeing how can I achieve that goal, and if I give meaning to and perspective into not I suck at it, but how can I be that good that he is. And if I put that into perspective, the comparison gives me a drive to be a better every day, so I can check what is he doing every day that I'm not doing, and that I compare that and I see, okay, he does that and that. Okay, if I do that and that and that in my way, I can achieve some level of his mastery. It's like in that way, it can be inspiring, it can be dragging you down, it can, I don't know, it can put out your ego, if you feel I'm the best, I'm the I'm the man, I'm nailing this stuff, and it's like, I think it could go either way, and if I sum up this, it can go in the way you want it to go. Just putting into different perspectives the same thing you can put in zillion perspectives. That's how I experience comparison in my life.
Yeah, definitely, right. And one thing pops to my mind when you share that, you can use it as an inspiration, but I think you can use it as inspiration until you're not competing with the person.
Yeah.
Until when you're like, I will do it, so you're but then it's like, is it still comparison or is something else, right? Or it's like or it's looking into it, what is missing on your side that you would get to that level.
Yeah, but comparison in the beginning made me look into it, and then if I accept it on this perspective, then I'm not comparing, and I'm using that as an inspiration to go to his level or her level, for me to be a better one,
Yeah.
And
great.
then I don't compare. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, right, it's like we said, it's natural way of human being is to compare, and then you always have a chance, you always have a choice actually, right? How you will use it, whether you will use it to destroy you, so to speak, right? Or you can use it like you just said, and that is great, and that is also how we will be sharing tonight, like from our personal experience, will be like the areas where we overcome it and the areas where we are stuck with. So maybe Alex, because you started it, like you go first.
Okay. First, the area where I'm still comparing is salsa. I started salsa 2.5 years ago, and the first day of salsa was like
the sauce.
What? No.
Yeah, when you were saying salsa, like
I know.
we were like,
Cuban salsa, the dance,
salsa.
that
Okay,
couple
okay,
thing.
I
Yeah, I
got
know
it.
you know.
I'm
I
just
know you know.
messing
But
with
yeah,
you.
good for pointing that out. You. I love the precision. Yeah. So I was the first day of my salsa class. I still remember it. I was like on the left side of the gym, and we danced the basic step, like moving forward, backward. And I was immediately comparing myself to the teacher. And it was, oh my God, I was dancing, and he was dancing the same step forward, backward. And I was like, come on. He looks like, flowing like water, he's like, and I was like wood, like literally like, oh my God. what am I doing here? I will never dance like that. And as I progress, and as I watched, and I went also to those salsa parties, Cuban salsa parties, and I always, checked at the dance floor the guys how they dance, and how they look when they dance. And then there was like, some, guys who knows the moves, who has the flavor, who knows the musicality, everything. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be like that, And I was comparing, And they always said to me, don't compare yourself to us because we are 2 years ahead of you. And this is like experience, like you must get the reps done, when you will have 2 years of dancing, you will be on our level or it may be better. And I was like, no, that's not possible. But I continued,
Yeah, but
And
let me stop you there. Just I have a question. It's like,
yeah,
so when you were at that Cuban salsa party and you saw those guys dancing, did you dance at all, or did you dance for one dance instead of 20 dances? What happened on the
when I
floor,
was the
actually?
beginner, the
Yeah.
first 2 months, of, I was like hiding and just dancing with my, how do you say, schoolmate at for dance school. Yeah. And in the that nobody could saw me. If somebody is looking at me, I'm stopping. I'm like, no, don't look at me. I'm not there yet. I just know one or two figures. That's it. Don't look at me. I'm not dancing. I'm like walking and stuff. Yeah, in the beginning, it's like, oh my God, I didn't feel so good because I know that I know how to dance, but not Cuban salsa. But I like to freestyle hip hop and that stuff. But salsa is different way. And then leading, when I think about leading the girl, so showing her what we do next, and then listening to the music so I can get the rhythm right, and then still checking up myself, how do I look, and that was like, oh my God, I will never get it, But 2 years later, what's interesting now with this comparison is like now the those who are beginners are looking up to me and they are saying to me the same things that I say to others. And I was like, no, I'm not that good, Look at that guy, he's better. He's like, Cuban, he's, I'm comparing now myself to the teachers or to that festival teachers, who are Cubans. He was born with salsa in his blood, and I'm comparing with him. And that's like, okay, how can I achieve his level? So I'm still comparing because I haven't achieved the level of mastery that I would like to achieve for myself. And I'm comparing with the guys from Cuba, but those I don't compare with the guys that don't dance on the same level as I am because they don't have that much experience, and that's it. So yeah, that is still, I'm hooked up with that comparison, I must admit. And
And how is that
I
for
enjoy,
you when you are hooked up with that comparison? I mean, what is
yeah,
the experience then being there on the floor? Like, give us a little bit how it happens in life. Like
I think
you come to
jealousy.
you come to the session,
Yeah,
and what what's going
yeah.
on up here?
I think the jealousy is the most common thing because I'm not jealous at the guy. I don't hate the guy. I'm just jealous what he can do.
And you
It's
can't,
like,
yeah.
huh? Yeah,
And you
and I
can't.
can't. Yeah. And I say, okay. And I'm also frustrated because it's like, how he knows that moves and how can I, learn that, And that is like, this comparison is robbing me from, enjoy and be joyful in that because I really like to dance. And I found that when I dance on the dance floor, I really enjoy. Then I go in my flow and I don't compare myself to anybody because my mission or how I dance with the girls is like I always want the girl to have fun and me to have fun and just to enjoy the music. It's not about the figures, it's not about, it's about the flow, the feeling that you have with the girl. And just to enjoy. It's like, okay, if I made a mistake, I'm not comparing that mistake, because I'm like, ha ha, it's okay, and then we're laughing and we're having fun and we are improvising, and that's like, oh my god, this is best thing ever, you know. But when I stop dancing and when I'm like relaxing or chilling at the bar, you know, watching the other guys, and I say, come on. Oh, and then comparison kind of kicks in, and then damn, but it's, you know, it's kicking in and kicking out, you know, like. So I'm still comparing. I cannot say that I'm not comparing, because even though I'm, if I go now to the dance floor, I will compare myself beside not on the dance floor, but off the dance floor. So that's it.
Yeah, so basically what you share, when you're on the court in the game, you're not comparing because you're there playing. And when you're in the stand, when you're watching the game, that's when you're comparing, and that is like...
Yeah.
But I think, you know, somehow you overachieve. I mean, you came over this comparison, because this comparison would really have you, right? You wouldn't go on the dance floor. You wouldn't go on the dance floor until you're better than the best guy on the dance floor. It's just not possible. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I think if you would be really hooked by you are comparing because that's natural, that human beings are doing, right? But it's not having you in the crutch. It's not like that you're afraid, right? Until I'm best. Like, do you remember when we started podcast? You wanted to be perfect. That is when comparison had you. Because you want to be perfect. Like, other guys are doing it, and we are not going out until we have the perfect camera, perfect lights, perfect setup, you know, everything.
Perfect mic.
Perfect mic, everything, right? And that is when comparison have you. Like, you are stopped in the action, right? But right here, I would say, you're comparing, and it's maybe crippling you for 5 to 10 seconds, but it's not stopping you from doing what you love doing.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. Yeah.
All right.
And on the other hand, where I stopped comparing is I am MC or speaker at the events, and
master of ceremony.
Master of ceremony.
Let's say it like it is.
Say it
right?
like say it like it is. Yeah. So when I'm in that situation, I don't compare with anybody, even if somebody compares me, because what happened was I achieved my level of mastery that's good for me. So I don't compare now to anybody. I just see us as the same. And you know, if somebody compares me with, I don't know, who is in Slovenia, like, I don't know, Denis Audic, I would say, okay, he's better from me at, I don't know, in this stuff, but I know what are my strengths, you know, and I don't feel like I need to be compared by anybody who is also speaker. And I support everyone because I see the best thing in every speaker now. That's my perspective now, and I don't compare with it, because I know what is my strength and I know what is their strength. But you know, see, I'm still comparing, but it's not in a way that it's hooking me. I'm accepting that, and it's not bothering me if somebody, you know, says, okay, we didn't pick you out of 3 speakers, you know. I would say, okay, you just need different type of speaker, it's okay, no problem. And something like that. I think that's the point, that I don't, because I don't feel any, I think from comparison, it's like I don't feel any ego in that point of view. Somebody compares me, if somebody says to me that someone is better than me, I would say, okay, if you think that somebody is better, I get that, I accept that, you know. It's not like if somebody says to me that in salsa somebody is better, I will just see his level of dancing and I will start, you know, comparing, and I will say, no, I think I do these moves better, you know, because I'm still hooked by it. But from MCing, I'm just accepting me as a MC on a level that I really accepted my level of mastery, my how do you say that, my level, my point of view of that. So
and I think the two, how I see it now through your sharing is like, right, in MC you stopped competing with others, and in salsa you're competing with others. It's like, right, you're comparing and
really
compete.
Don't compete.
And then in MC you accept, okay, I am where I am, I can get better, you know, but these guys are not my competition, they're my, so to speak, colleagues, co-workers, right? and it's like the perspective you have on the MCing now, it's like you're not bothered by if they picked anybody else because you don't compete with anybody.
Yeah,
right.
Very good. Yeah, I agree.
So I think
agree.
that is in a way, right, like how we do it. When we compete, it's like comparison have you hooked, and when you stop competing, it's like, okay, so you think he's better, okay, cool, pick him.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I have a next job there, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right. And suddenly life is easy, and it's like easy going, and you can be really confident and not shaking when you're doing it, and not comparing yourself while you're doing it for one client with the other MC who might do it better, right?
Yeah.
But it's also why I think it's also right. How you can also get it is right because when you're MC, there is nobody else MC, and it's either I own the moment or I don't. So you are so much more in the court again that you don't have time to compare that moment. You can compare afterwards if you would watch like your tape and the tape of Denis Audic, like you said, right? You can compare those two and you go, and then it's again, if you're competing, you'll put yourself down and says, man, I'm not doing this anymore, right? Or if you can look at the guy and see, okay, what is he doing great? Or like, what is his thing? And what can I pull out of this, right? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Alex, for this
No problem.
how to say, insight into your head of comparison.
Yeah.
All right, Ula. How is comparison in your life, like the area that like you overcome it?
I want to share about my sister. She's my younger sister. She's like 8 years younger. And I was always not comparing myself to her, but her to myself. So it started like when she was, I don't know, 10. I told to my parents, but when I was 10, I was doing the dishes. Why is she not doing the dishes? So that was the start. And then I started comparing her to me, like I was really good at sports. So she needs to be good at sports. And it was really hard for her, I would say, because like I was boxing and she was training with me and I was like 18 and she was 10. She still remembers how it was. I was like, she was really small and short hands, and she was like, I'm gonna punch you, and I was like, boom, 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 and she was like, oh, why you're doing that, and I was like, I'm just teaching you how to be the best, you should be like me. And then she went like fighting, like for real. It was like a club match, something like that. And she was fighting a boy, because they were like 10 to 12 years old and there were no girls. And I was like, you need to crush him, you need to crush him, you should be like me. And yeah, she really did her best and she won that tournament. I was really proud, she's like me, and she was always telling me, oh, I want to be like you. But I was thinking, was she telling me that because I was trying to make her like me, So because she spent so much time with me, I was like her mother in a way. So she was always with me. And then like she kind of grew up and she was like, I don't know, 18. And I was like, okay, you need to be really good at what you do, and you should be a businesswoman like me. And like I was pushing her to do the trainings, to do like similar things that I do. And then it didn't work for her, obviously, because we were talking and she was trying to make her own point, but I was like, no, you listen to me, because I know and I don't want you to do the same mistakes that I did, and you're gonna be very successful, just listen to me. So so that was comparison in a big time comparison, yeah. And then I realized like, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe, or a year ago, that this is not okay, not for me, because it was really a big, like, I was feeling like I need to do that. If I'm gonna fail that, if I'm not gonna be like a good leader for her, no, I'm gonna fail. So that's gonna be horrible, and her life is gonna be ruined. And yeah, and on the other hand, it was really bad for her because she could not develop her own skills. She could not live the life she wanted. So at one point, I was like, okay, I need to let her go, because I was feeling like she's my child, and I need to take care of her. I need to support her. I need to just do everything for her so she's not gonna suffer or anything. And like, I was giving her money and I was lending her money. It was really bad because she did not take the responsibility. And today she's a really responsible person, and she's like 22. She has her own apartment, rented apartment. She has her own business. She is working with the nutrition. She loves to cook, and so on and so on. But what happened was, I decided I'm gonna stop comparing her to myself, and it was really hard. I made a decision. Basically, that was it. I'm gonna stop doing that. And yeah, I'm so happy I did that. And because now I can see I'm not having that job anymore, to take care of her, to make her life good and perfect and simple. And on the other hand, she can be a star of her own life. But the other thing I forgot to mention is that even our parents always were comparing us, but not like we should be the same, but like, oh, Ula, you are like that. And her name is Onya. You are like that, And whenever I said to my dad, yeah, but she can do it, he was like, yeah, but she's not like you. And I tried to make a point that she is like me and she can do it, but it was in the wrong way. I was trying to make her be like me, but then I realized, oh no, she can do it, but she can do it on her own way. It's okay. And now she's a really cool girl, and she's a really powerful woman, and really that was the best decision of my life.
Yeah, and it's what you're sharing is really perfect on so many levels, right? Because that is exactly the comparison of ego trip, right? So I'm here now. You gotta be like me because I'm successful. I'm good. I know it all. I know it better, right? So you're then like, okay, there's this little sister. She wants to spend time with me. She probably wants to be like me. Maybe somebody says or she said, I want to be like you, Ula. And then you were like, okay, that is my job now, to make her to be like me. And then in the end, if you would really look into it, you didn't even compare her to yourself, but you compare her to the ideal of yourself, right? Because you knew in reality that you are like, not everything that you were saying. Because, we human beings tends to look good rather than be authentic. So it's like, we are comparing her to the ideal of yourself. And tell me actually, what I want to, from this comparison, how was your relationship before with her? Like, and how is now after you stopped doing that?
Well, first of all, I was really like her mom. I had a lot of responsibility.
I mean, how was in a relationship, like how she was acting towards you before you stopped comparing her and like, in a way, you weren't guiding her, you were actually like shaping her, like put her in a, she has to be like that, so I will put her into my picture. So that has to have an impact on a relationship on you too.
Yeah, because as I said, I was like a mom. She was acting like a child. And
Which she actually was, to be honest, right?
well, when she was like 19 or 20, she was not a child anymore.
Okay.
And she didn't take responsibility because she didn't need to. And she didn't have faith in herself, because like I was the role model, and she didn't believe she can be like that, blah blah blah. And our relationship was like, I was up here and she was down here. And I could not take any advices from her, or like, I was a mom and she was a kid. And now we came to this level, and basically we can talk about everything. And she gives me advices about, I know, relationship and business and so on. So it's really like that. And when you're like that, you can connect.
All right, so yeah, that's what I want to hear, right? Before there was no connection and no love possible in the relationship. You were always looking down on her, always being supreme, always, right? Like a head demigod above her who, knows it all, right? Thinking I'm doing it in the best for her, when actually there was never like interest who she is, but it was always like she has to be like me. And that is exactly. And then when you stop doing that, and when you let her be her and do mistakes, and actually to start being whoever she want to be, and you supported her in that, then actually love and connection is possible. And that is a great example, right? How comparison can take a relationship from us, even though we are saying to everybody, I'm doing this for his or her best own good, so that he will be or she will be like that, and she could, but in the end there is no love, no connection, no that genuine thing that we want to have with people in a relationship, but is actually, it's all about me, so that I feel good, so that Ula would feel good when the sister would be like that, so that Ula would be proud, and then you were proud, and she was actually like, probably she was like, nothing special, it's all my sister, I'm just like a vehicle here, not even running on my own motor. So yeah, that is a great thing, everybody can look into that, because more or less we all have, in a way, some relationships like that, when we think we are better than somebody, and then we need to teach them or show them something, and then we do it without love totally, in the name of the love, which is actually abusing the love overall. But yeah, but it is, right, this comparison really creeps into so many areas, and in such a way that you don't even see it, and you really like think in that moment, I'm doing best for my sister. But when you really looked at it from the objective, like the third person eyes, you see that, not even one thing was doing for the best of your sister. It was like all about one person and not letting the other self-express. So thank you, Ula, for that.
Yeah, can I just add one more thing? That's what I see with in a relationships, parents, kids. It's because I felt like I'm a parent. It's really like, oh, I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna give you the money. Do you need the money? Do you have food? Even if you're like 30. But yeah, it's something that really happens in that kind of relationship.
Amazing. And I remembered yesterday I wrote a great quote about who parents are. Let me just find it. If hopefully I will find it. I know it's not a quote, but it's actually, it happened in. Okay. The thing was like, the mother was saying that she wanted to do the best for her kid, and she actually measured up herself by the success of the child, right? So then this guy who was leading the course said, like all mothers, you lose yourself. You become your children. Let me tell you something. You have a very little to do with the way your children grow up. Look at yourself. You did it the way you wanted to do it, but everyone has bullshit about they made me. Kids like to eat. If you want to eat in this house, do this and this and this. If you don't want to eat, do something else, right? That's how parents usually we go, right? If you want to eat in this house, you will obey my rules, and otherwise,
You will be on
no
time.
food on the table, right? And then this guy said, so I told my son, I don't feed you because I love you. It's against the law not to feed you, which is actually the bottom line truth, right? And you lose yourself and become your children. And the single most important thing you have to give your children is your own well-being, and make sure they don't get in the way. They may not use it wisely, but yourself is what you've got to give them. The one thing I could never get away from with my mother was who she was, but I forgot everything she told me. So in that regard, right, it's like we compare, and then we do, especially that is the situation that you have, right? If we look into it, you were like this mother, like do this and be like me, and you were measuring your success by her success. If she was successful, you were successful. If she wasn't successful, you're not successful. And that is like the most, I will say it as it is, the most stupid thing parents can do. Like that is really the most stupid thing is you as a parent can do. Measure yourself by the success of your child. It's his life or her life and not our life. So, like these guys say, take care of you, your well-being, you be happy, you be successful, you be fulfilled, and let your child, guide him in a way, but don't own him in a way that, if he get A's in the school, you're a good parent. No, you're not. He has A in the school. He is good student, and so to speak, if you can call it like that. It has nothing to do with you as a parent. Like literally nothing. It's his success, not yours. So right. So yeah, that just I remember want to put it out here. I think it's awesome. And Karina said, "Thank you for sharing, Gula, and great job on letting go of control, comparison, and supporting your sister to thrive." Yeah. And Andrew also said, great example. So yeah, people do like this is the point of this podcast, that we found because we're all human beings, and we will find us in every sharing that we have. So anything else you want to say, Ula?
No, I think that's it.
That's it.
Keep on going.
Keep on going. All right, let's roll to Emma.
Yeah, okay. So I've discovered where my comparing is very much in game, and where I'm on my ego trip is with my knowledge. And because for me, like from when I was in primary school and from like all my journey from education, knowledge kind of meant like self-worth, like in that way. So to me, if I'm smart, if I can logically connect stuff, if I have good grades or whatever in that case, then I'm like worthy or something like that, and it gets to this really ego trip that I can be quite a like smart ass and like really annoying to people around me. And I sometimes notice that, and I sometimes don't. And I also really saw I saw sometimes really really saw this difference where this comparison kind of drives me, and that I feel like I have somewhere to get, kind of like Alex was saying before, in what I see, which is the level of mastery I want, or what difference it is when I'm just like curious, in wonder, kind of like just enjoying the like learning, that it's fun for me. And also I saw that I kind of made this comparison very convenient for me. So to me, my knowledge, which is important, is like science stuff, medical stuff, botanical stuff. But if you ask me something about technology or motors or whatever, this is not important to me. So it's really, I really like shaped it so I can, feed my ego on it. And
how does
also,
do you have an example how it happens on the court, like in a relationship with somebody, or at the job or at the faculty or something?
yeah, sometimes, I mean, I could see, okay, so if I'm just talking with my friends and they're not out of the, like, these medical areas or anything, I would just start talking about something and feeling like kind of superior. And also, I noticed, and it was so, oh my God, like me and Luca were watching Dr. House. And, you know, they were like doing all the diagnostics and whatever. And okay, all the symptoms the guy had and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, he has that and he has that and he has that. And I was so incredibly like, oh my God, over the roof when I would say, oh, you know, it's that, I don't know what it was, like adrenal tumor or something, like something. And in the next minute, they would say that. And I was, oh my God, my ego was like, oh, we're winning in life. But it was also like actually so superficial, right? And it's also what I also get present to how we really fast connect ourselves to and compare in movies or series and, you know, all these fake relationships and knowledge and everything that's there. So yeah, like that.
How is that for Luca when you are yelling out, it's this and that and that?
Yeah, I asked him.
Yeah.
And thank God, he's a guy that he is, because I was like, do you find that annoying, you know, for me, like to be here every minute, like, oh, I know this, you know, and he was like, oh no, I actually quite enjoy. I'm surprised by how much you know, so I'm really lucky to have him. Because, you know, I bet that some guys would be like, oh, you know, shut up for saying stuff constantly. Can't you
You're
just
ruining the series for me, telling me everything in advance.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really, really, really lucky to have him because he's so supportive.
All
So
right.
yeah, this is one area that I see that it's constantly kind of in game. And I don't know what will happen if I ever reach my like mastery, what I want out of my knowledge, if I'm still gonna compare or no.
So it's like
I
kind
don't
of a.
really know.
It sounds like you kind of a if you are not the smartest person in the room by the knowledge that you already have, you will fake it that you are.
Ooh, wow, great. I didn't
Right?
see that before. Yeah, I would kind of try to, or really, you know, like, oh, come on now, brains work. Let's, you know, find a way how to be great with
How
this.
to look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that they won't find out that I actually don't know anything, right?
Yeah, just bullshit. Yes.
Yeah. And that is, it's also right. This is how comparison, it cripples everywhere, right? You come into the room full of friends. I mean, people who you're supposed to be like, man, I don't know this, leave me alone. You know, it's like, I'm not willing to learn it. Just I'll, you know, do something else.
Yeah.
Right? But no. It's a competition straight on. Who knows more, right? Whenever it comes to the knowledge.
Yes, I would like remember, I don't know, in some really topics I have no clue about. I would remember like some like a line out of, I don't know, some movie I watched like 1,000 years ago or something I read on Facebook or wherever, to just like popping the conversation. Yeah, you know what, blah blah blah. You know, like that.
I know.
So just
I do the same. So I totally no. I do the same.
So, Emma, can I ask you one question? How is playing board games with you?
Oh, I don't like board games because I don't feel I'm good enough at them. And
Okay.
I don't like team sports, as I said, and board
okay.
games go under team sports.
Because you cannot outsmart them all, huh?
Yes,
It's
yes.
not predictable. Okay, I get it.
Yes, and I never like to play any games that would be like chess or I don't know, like, you know, those stuff where you really have to think and really, you know, where the move you make is really just the move you made. You can't bullshit around it. So that stuff I don't like, where I can't improve.
And that is a great example, right? So for her, knowledge is very important. And she puts I don't like to everything where her knowledge might be tested and beaten, right? So chess is one of that ways. She could lose in chess. I don't like chess. Board game. She could lose in board games because it's knowledge. I don't like that either. Team sports. I might lose because it's not all depends on me. I don't like that, you know.
And I'm not the best in team sports. Yeah, sorry, continue.
Obviously that you're not, because like when it comes to knowledge, it's like it's all about me. And in team sports, if you're about me, it's like, you know, there is no I in team or something like that. But you see, that is just what you were saying in the beginning, right? When you said you come into the school, you are not good at math immediately, and then you just say, I don't like math, math is not for me, and you're done for life, right? So and that is actually how comparison in that regard is having you all the time, regarding wherever your knowledge, how much you know, should show up. It's like, so guys, we know what we have to do, right? It's activity time with Emma.
And we don't say what? Emma, if somebody says to you, oh, you are really smart, you feel good. If somebody says to you, you are not so smart, how do you react?
Oh, it's like, it's really just like
how
heaven
do you mean
or
not
hell.
Smart? Define not smart. Huh?
You know, like, I'm not smart. Like, shit, I need to learn some more, or I need to prove something to them, or you say that because you want to be the smarter. Like, I would go in or either defense or attack, but I would not be okay with it. So yeah, if I'm really being honest here, actually. So it's really just what's there for me. My mechanism, in my auto machine, like that.
Yeah, Mr. JP wrote, Emma, I was similar in a way. I was only satisfied with the best grades and was even happier if I was the only one with the best grade. Yeah. Now I know this was only a result of my insecurity, and this only gave my ego satisfaction that I'm smart.
Great.
It's all basically a fake, and then you build your whole life around knowledge. So like wherever Emma go, her automatic way of being, first what it does, right? This automated machine who is also running up here, right? Because we have no control of thoughts. We already discovered that. It's like they're happening whether you like it or not. It's not you having thoughts. It's like it having thoughts. And
they just come.
They just come, right? So Emma is like always, right? She puts knowledge. And then it's like if situation might bring up that she will not perform the best in a knowledge way, I don't like it.
Run.
And if she will sell that to everyone, she will sell it, and everyone will be like, okay, Emma doesn't like it. We are not playing board games. Okay.
Yes, play it yourself. I don't want to.
I don't want it. I'll go read a book, on how to play board games so I could be the best.
Or I might watch you when you play. I'll sit there, drink my beer or whatever, like you do your stuff.
Making all the tactics, and so far she doesn't have all the strategies figured out for the activity. That's why she is not doing it.
Ooh.
When she will know all the answers, then she will do it.
God will play activity.
So
I'm now up for a challenge to show you.
Said, last time someone told me I'm not smart, I went on stage to prove otherwise in front of 120 people. Mr. JP, remember? Yeah, I remember. So we did the Landmark Forum, and Landmark Forum has the advanced course, and in the advanced course, I think I told her she is not smart enough or something, and then she went up there and got coaching, and then she discovered something new for herself, which is basically what being out of comfort zone always happens, right? Mm-hmm. That's how much I love my wife. I love to throw her out of comfort zone. And then she grew, and then, that's how we have the relationship we have. Otherwise, when we met, she was cynical and sarcastic. How lovely can that relationship be, right? Imagine. So you got to do something about it. So, yeah. Okay, and the comparison where you actually overcome it?
Yeah, I think this one is really important, I would say, in nowadays time, because, where I find myself that I went over it is kind of my body image, where I would before compare and question myself in how I look, how tall I am, how skinny I am, size of my boobs, size of my butt, how I'm, like everything. Like, am I like as pretty or whatever? And it's really one or maybe two things that like made a huge difference for me. and it was really just self-love and acceptance. As in, you know, I got it, and I'm really okay the way I am, with the way I am, and that we're just all different, and it's okay, and that probably at the same time I am questioning myself, the, you know, other person is questioning just, you know, the same. They're like in their head and thinking, you know, am I don't know, whatever, a good person, or am I looking okay, or, you know. So yeah, this is the thing that I just kind of accepted, and it's really, I think it's really free. And for me also it made huge difference, because now I can, you know, I don't have to always look good in that way, and I can be here and I can talk really like authentically about myself. I would not be, oh my god, what they're gonna think about me, and I can look like a, I don't know, total potato here. If I, you know, like I can look whatever way I want, and I'm okay with it, and it's really like a freedom. So yeah, that's the stuff I found for myself, and it's great.
And it's great what you shared in words wise, I would say. It's like you said, you know, maybe I look like a potato here and I'm totally okay with it. Which, if you use words, I look like potato over here and I don't care about it. It's like, you care, man. If you say I don't care, you care. It's like always. You know, that is the biggest bullshit we are selling to all everybody when we are saying I don't care. Nah, man, just by you saying I don't care, I know you care, and you know, maybe you're not okay that you care about that because it's made look like a silly thing to you, and blah 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 goes on another comparison in that. And maybe I can ask you, so would you say that by accepting you stopped comparing, or you're still comparing but you are okay with that and you don't put extra meaning to it except for what it is?
I think, to me, it's kind of like that. Okay, if I'm gonna see like a beautiful person, it doesn't matter if it's a woman, it's a guy, you know, just a beautiful person, I'm just gonna kind of think about them as, wow, they're really, really beautiful. And I don't know, it doesn't come to me anymore that I would be like, oh, I wish I could be like them. So I think I really just stopped comparing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there are some hints of it. I can't really put my finger on it, where I would still go, oh, I wish I would, I don't know, be like that, blah, 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 blah. But because as you said, I am okay with it. So it's like, oh, well, you know, that this is them and this is me and it's all great. And I'm like lovely the way I am. So it's like really both.
Right. Yeah. So that is one thing, right? Like we can put on how to, even though we are not doing the podcast in that way, but is when you accept whatever the things are going on, then actually comparison fall off. And another thing is when you stop competing, when you can also say when you accept, you stop competing, because it's like, you know, competition in that notion doesn't have any sense. And anyway, there are no prizes at the end. It's not like we are driving Formula One right here. Like, who will have a better share? How can I be them? And now, so now it's my turn. Man, go, do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's go, JP.
I love this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like, okay, great. So it's acceptance, and it's for Alex, it was like stop competing. For Ula, it was like right in a moment of decision when she saw what is actually this is costing her, because it was costing her a relationship with her sister, but not only a relationship with her sister, but also her sister, like in the meaning that, you know, her sister was this person and she didn't know who she was. And I think in a moment, if we go back to that, is like Ula took responsibility, like the real responsibility. Before it was fake responsibility. It was all about Ula, but then she took responsibility about the whole thing and said, okay, if I'm really responsible, I will let her be who she is and let her make mistakes and let her grow, and that will be her way, and I will be for her as a, you know, somebody who supports her, not like somebody who teaches her all the time, because I'm a demigod and I know it all. So yeah, those are, I mean, awesome things like that, you know, we can take from here on, and even in the what happened?
Nothing.
Something happened, you two.
No. You said demigod, and she was like,
All right, I like that. I am. Did you see the wings on my back?
"Yeah, you."
Yeah, because Ula
She's
has a
demigod.
tattoo of the wings on her back. So if you guys want to see that, go check her out on Instagram or somewhere. Why not? You know, people might say, "What wings? He's bullshitting," and I'm no, I'm not bullshitting. She has wings. There we go. Yeah, guys, stop it. You know, there might be guys who will say, "Pull the shirt lower." And we're not doing that here. Not here. We're not getting banned for that. Anyway, all right. Let me go on me, myself, and I. So us three will share now.
Go.
So actually, where I stopped comparing, and it made a huge difference for myself, was actually similar to Emma. It was when I accept, you know, and I start being proud of who I am. It's like I start competing with other men in front of ladies, like, you know, going out and, you know, who can impress her, and is she good enough for me? Is she not good enough for me? Like all these things that we do. And yeah, it's really how it was before. It was like, you know, we went out and you go out with a group of friends, and, you know, somebody has a six-pack I didn't have, you know, somebody is a great in other ways and I'm not, you know. So it's always going out as an inferior to others, and that was like really crippling, right? You never went to the girl that you like really liked, or like, you know, she was maybe the most beautiful in there or stuff like that. Always went for the second, third best and stuff like that. So that was it, and in the end, or didn't go to anybody. You just drink the whole night, dance, and, you know, look around and looking all weird, like we do in the in those bars, or like we're all like weirdos in there. Did you ever watch people just from like being there and they don't want anything out of it? It's like weirdest shits are going on in there. Like when you watch it, those guys are flirting. Ladies are flirting all similar way. So yeah, when I stopped doing that, it's like it just gave me so much freedom and confidence, and I was like, okay, I am the way I am, and, you know, I know who I am, what I want, and yeah, Mr. JP, if you would meet me back there, no way you would be Mr. JP. No way. Like we wouldn't even meet probably. We didn't even party in the same bars or something like that. But yeah, when I really dropped that, you know, I could be okay with who I am no matter the circumstances. And that actually gave me a freedom to be myself, to express myself, and yeah, even though in some ways it looks like I don't care about feelings others, when sometimes I don't, especially when those feelings are like, you know, not in the best way for that human, like the other person, that is stopping them actually from being their best selves. So yeah, that really gave me freedom, and now I'm like, and what it also gives me now is that I don't compare my relationship to other relationship, right? It's like, oh, me and Usha are having so much better relationship than, I don't know, Ula and Aljaš or Emma and Luka, you know, we are married, we have a kid. Those losers, they don't have anything, you know, like really, it's like I'm putting that like up now because I know we're all cool with that, but it's really not happening. It's like, you know, it's the thing that also was written before, right? It would be really quiet in our head with all these comparison we do during the day, and that really does. I could be more present to where I am. But the thing where like comparison is stopping, it's not stopping me, but it's there, and it's like I don't feel good about it. It's like I do on the other level compare with men in the shape of my body. It's like, you know, I'm working out, I'm eating, like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and there are still no six packs, even though I'm not really, like, you know, not really, like in my head, it's like I am, you know. and then like in that way I do compare, or like, you know, when I meet a new person especially, I always compare to them, like in a way of like, okay, where am I superior, like the automatic way go, like where am I superior to them. And then, you know, you meet Alex, this great guy, and then he says, I'm doing camps with Goran Dragi, stuff like that, and you're like, fuck, man, you know, I'm not that good, right? And then he goes like, I'm single, and then like, yeah, man, I'm not.
That's why. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Nah.
Thanks for that share, bro.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
that
that share. Now I get it. Okay, it's
Yeah,
good.
no, but it's actually it is the automatic way, always happens. But
Yeah.
now I'm standing for you to be in a relationship that you want to have, because I know it would, you know, you would be so, I wouldn't say much happier, but I know your life would be fulfilled on a whole another level. So yeah, and I could, you know, when I met Ula, it was like, you know, she knows all about human body, and you know, she knows about street workout, and then I came here like a guy, you know, and there is a girl like, I don't know, you know, but luckily I, no, really, because it's like I also, you know, think that I know it all, like that's why I said before for Emma that I know the knowledge. So I'm like, yeah, I know it all. And then, like, you know, when Ula grabs you on the massage table, she knows for the muscle, like when it was injured, how long it was injured, you know, what probably did you do, and how it healed up or didn't heal up properly. And then what should you do to like do that. And that is like, hey man, you know, I will just quiet, you know, go away. And then so yeah, and that's why, you know, like compared to everybody. And then, you know, I have to put my mind to it. That is the thing that like I want to give to everybody. Like, it's okay if you compare, nothing is wrong with comparison. Like, that's what we want to expose here. It is what it is, it's a comparison. And but you can then, if you put thought into it, like that's what thing that we usually do, right? We like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, okay, one thing is thinking about it, and another thing is put thought into it, like, you know, being objective and put it out of a third person, see the situation as it is, not to for you being right and stuff like that. And then it can turn into something magical. It's the same for me as you know, trying to, I mean, working on to succeed as a streamer, to become a full-time streamer. And it's like, you know, there you have Nick Merckx with 60,000 viewers right now, and 3,000 subscribes just today, man, right? And I'm like here planning to have 1,000 subscriptions in 1 year. And we, you know, right? So you can, it's those levels that Alex, you were talking about before. So really for the end would say like comparison will always be there. It's something that, you know, we cannot get rid of it. It's not like you can, you know, delete it and say I don't compare, which basically you do all the time. It's just like then what we discovered it, and probably most of us here who is listening did in some way discover it, or if you didn't, you can start doing now, right? You can discover that you actually have a choice into it. And it doesn't mean that you're not good enough because today you're not good, like, you know, the best in something or on the level that you want to be. It's just like, okay, you're not, and what you're gonna do about it? That's like one question you can always put out, right? And the same thing, if we look all our shares, right? It was like we stopped dealing with the circumstances. We stopped accusing circumstances, right? Oh yeah, that guy, of course he has her, right? His dad is rich, he's, you know, he has time, you know, he's pumping out all days. Here I am, I have to work really hard all the time, and I come home tired. You know, all the excuses we put up, like that others are where they are by cheating, by stealing, and probably some people do that as well, right? But not the ones who are really happy and fulfilled and satisfied, right? The authentically satisfied. No ego trips there. So yeah, weekly challenge. Or do you guys want to add something else before we put out the weekly challenge? Anybody?
Well, I can also add that I think it's the best way for comparison is to accept it as it is, and just to be aware when it comes up, and not to be, you know, like in a drama mode, but you just see what it is and just use it to inspire yourself or to stop competing, so that doesn't get, you know, hold on you, and you can live more happy life.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
from.
Okay, I will give you coaching after we finish on that what you just said, because it's crippling you while you were saying it's taking happiness actually out of your life. It's not giving you. Or I could say it right here for everybody now. Whenever you put more, better, or different into any situation, you're doing it from the same mind box. And it's not gonna get even better, it's not gonna get more, and it's not gonna get different. It will just stay the way it is. Because there is not more happiness in life. It's either you're happy or you're not. You cannot be more happy. What is that even? When you put it to reality, it's like, Looney Tune. but it's great what you were saying. It's just like, I like to be peculiar on words because, like we discovered, it's really important what you say.
Yeah, no
right?
biggie.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So yeah, okay, guys. Weekly challenge for all of you who are with us. It's like weekly challenge is look into your life and identify what is comparison that is stopping you, and then drop it for 1 week and see what happens. So basically, you discovered it, you look at it, oh, I'm comparing, like we said a lot of examples here, so I'm sure you guys had a look into it and you saw it clearly, at least one comparison, that because of that comparison, either you don't do the stuff you like, or you are like, saying nothing, you're really stuck, and you cannot get through it. So, and then just put no meaning to it, drop it. Like, like a piece of paper, you put it together, you drop it. Just drop that comparison. Don't be hooked by it for 1 week, and then see what happens. And like we put that weekly challenge, we are sure it will make a huge difference in your life. And after 1 week, you will stop, you will stop, how to say, obeying that comparison. You will stop being used by that comparison. Now those are the best words. So yeah, thank you everybody who is watching this, and this is it for Night Ignition podcast tonight on the topic of comparison. So yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think about it, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.